Yeah, that the core idea of the changing body parts out was mostly a visual thing. It's like that's absurd, that's funny. We could do a lot with it. Sure, yeah. I'm Jamie Stormbreaker. I'm one of the founders of One More Game, and I'm also the game director and lead designer of Swapmeat. So we've been working on the game for about 2 years. We knew that we wanted to build a co-op third-person shooter. We love roguelites, and we knew that we wanted to build in that space. But the core mechanics of the game, which quite literally is in the name, you defeat enemies, you swap your body parts with theirs, you gain the powers, the legs, torso, head. All those things evolved from a prototype that was a personal side project of our art director, Jason Stokes. He had this Contra like side-scrolling prototype that he was working on where you could steal enemies' body parts and gain their powers. And we were like, I think we can map that to the third-person shooter that we've been working on. And so we just started from there and tried to figure out like what is that game mechanic. It's hard to build something brand new because there's no points of reference. Third-person shooters are familiar, but like we had to figure out how often you're going to change body parts, how health worked. Like there was a lot of designing challenges in trying to figure out what that mechanic is, then also making sure that it's tied in throughout the whole game. I think we did a great job, and I'm really excited to go into early access this fall in October. Yeah. Yeah. That the core idea of the changing body parts out was mostly a visual thing. It's like that's absurd, that's funny. We could do a lot with it. But the like implementation and gaining their power or gaining new abilities, those are all things that we just felt were really fun and kept the gameplay fresh. You can run around with the same parks as long as you can keep them, for as long as you can keep them. But the like frenetic fun gameplay of, defeating an enemy, running over, changing your part out, using its ability. And then, one of the interesting ways that this mechanic plays at high level is the body parts. When you swap, whatever you had goes on the ground. And when things are on the ground, we track the health, and their cooldown still is ticking down. So really high level gameplay is someone running around, killing enemies, swapping constant and just using abilities over and over and over. Yeah. Yeah. So the visuals, I think, and just the surreal humor, really inspired by, Rick and Morty, Invader Zim, 2000s, Adult Swim, Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Tim Eric, 90s Nickelodeon, Ren and Stimpy. I mean, I got a Toe Jam and Earl hat on. That's one of the inspirations for some of the music in the game. Just this like surreal humor is what we were going for. And then, the art style is really warm and inviting and chaotic because the nature of the game is that. Well, I think one of our inspirations is Helldivers 2, and it's a serious game wrapped in this, absurd humor where they're, taking their joke and just going all the way with it. We have a serious game. It's when you sit down and play, the game is challenging. There's multiple difficulty levels you can play on. And, I think you probably played on the first stage, easy. And we ramped it up. I think that there's really something fun though about the juxtaposition of this surreal, crazy humor on top of a game that is a complete game. Like it is a real title, even though this name doesn't sound like it. I would say that a fan favorite and one that's widely enjoyed on the team is the wasp torso and the spider legs. You get those really early in the game. They're really powerful, even though there are some that you run into right away. The combination of those actually gives the player flight. You can actually fly permanently in the game if you know how to combine them. Other favorites are they're called the squat daddy legs. They're these wrestler legs that when you use them, you jump up really high. If you use it again, you'll come down and do a butt slap, damage everything around it. Those are featured in the second boss fight. You use them to knock down one of the enemies. Yeah, and then we have other absurd body parts. One of them is a folding chair that you use in that fight too, and you throw the chair. It's not actually a head. Why is there a chair on your head? And we just lean fully into it. Yeah, so the things that we're focused on right now are we just ended our 7th public playtest, and then we're running a playtest specific for Latin America from September 19th to the 21st. It's on Steam. If you go wishlist the game and sign up for the playtest, it's open to anyone. But we'll have a new localized build available for play. We opened up a Discord community for Latin America as well, so if you join us in there, give us your feedback. And then our early access will be in October. Those are the 2 things that we're focused on right now. And both of those will be playable on PC and Mac OS. And we'll continue to develop the game, work with players, but no post-launch stuff to confirm just yet. Oh, I mean, we would be soloing to it. The game would absolutely play with collaborations. We've talked about that internally, but no one's approached just yet. I think as we get closer to a launch, and if players really enjoy the game, I think then possibilities start opening up. But it's a third-person co-op roguelike shooter where you spot pure heat with enemies you defeat.